Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing a recreation of a look that I posted on my Instagram, and that is this one right here. Let me pull it up. This right here. So if you're following me, you know which look I'm talking about, but follow me if you're not following me, by the way. But yeah, this is probably my most softest, most boldest, natural, soft glam look that I've ever done. And turns out I didn't even film it when I did the makeup. So I'm gonna try my best to recreate this look. And it's just mostly complexion. So the foundation, the concealer, the powder. I did not put on any highlighter. I went really light with the blush. And the bold is coming from the lashes and the mascara and the brows. So I did put on a little bit of eyeshadow, but not too much. But everything, this whole look is just like, it just looks like skin, but it's full coverage. So that is what we're doing today. I'm gonna start out with the skincare. I went ahead and washed my face. There's nothing on my skin right now, so I'm gonna at least moisturize my lips. I'm gonna take the Milani Rose lip balm. It's the rose butter lip balm, and I'm just gonna put it all over my lips. This just keeps my lips moisturized, because I hate when I have dry lips, especially when I'm talking. I want to make sure that they are prepped and moisturized. Now I'm going to go into some serum. So I'm going to take the Bliss Bright Idea Vitamin C Serum, which I have been loving. I'm just going to put it on all over my skin. Before I sat down to film, I waxed my top lip because I had a lot of peach fuzz up there. It was time for me to wax it, and I've been using these Sally Hansen wax strips. I've had these for a while, but anytime I start to get really fuzzy up here, I usually just use wax strips, and it just takes it right off, and it takes a while for it to grow back. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. I don't think I've ever shared that, like shared what I do as far as taking off the peach fuzz on my channel. So yeah, this is what I use. Anywho, now I'm gonna take my moisturizer. Sometimes I go in with moisturizer after the serum, sometimes I don't, but I still wanna do it anyway today. This is the Bliss Bright Idea Vitamin C Moisturizer. Both of these products I have been using nonstop, and I love them. Like, they're affordable. The serum is very similar to the Truth Serum. Very similar to that. So I'm just gonna rub my moisturizer in. So yeah, moisturizer is on. Y'all, when I tell you, I love these two products. Like, love, love, love. So now I'm gonna go in with my primer, and the one that I've been using nonstop recently is the Revlon Prime Plus Mattifying Primer, and I just pretty much put this on my T-zone. This does mattify the skin, but it doesn't dry it out, so I just focus most of it on my T-zone and then my smile lines. Oh, and by the way, if y'all haven't noticed, my bun is pretty tight today. So this is how I go to bed. Like, this is how my hair looks when I go to bed. I just don't wear this. I wear a bonnet on my head, but my bun is this tight. This is how small and tight I keep it when I go to sleep at night, or when I'm just lounging around the house. But y'all usually see it like more loose in most of my videos. But yeah, got the primer on. Now the brows. I've been using the new Mented Cosmetics Brow Pencil. The shade I use is Brow or Later, and I want to say this one is the dark brown. But they do have the descriptions on the site if you guys want to look at it, but the name of it is Brow or Later. So I'm going to take the spoolie, brush out my brows. I've done this so many times, so I might speed this part up. Now I'm going going to take the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer in the shade 13. And this is where I just carve out my brows, just kind of clean them up a little bit. Where is it? I'm always losing. There it is. And then I take the sponge and just kind of blend that concealer down on my lid. All right, y'all, so the foundation that I was wearing in that picture was the Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is in the shade Sandalwood. I have not done a tutorial using this foundation in such a long time. I have not worn it in a while, and I just randomly pulled it out of my collection the other day when I was doing my makeup, and I was like, let me just use this because I haven't used it in a while. So I'm gonna take a little bit of it and pour it on my sponge. Now you can purchase a pump. I don't have one, but I'm just gonna put it on my skin and just blend it out. Now it does look a little warm once I start applying it, but once I start putting on my concealer and all of that, it does even out. And when I tell y'all, this foundation will stay all day on your face. It will stay, girl. Like if you are wanting something with great coverage, y'all can see here. So if you're wanting full coverage foundation that's gonna stay, that's gonna last all day long, definitely invest in the Estee Lauder Double Wear because it is so good. Now the concealer that I was wearing was the e.l.f. Cosmetics Camo Concealer. This is not the hydrating one, this is the original one. I have the shade Deep Chestnut, and I also mixed in just a little bit of the e.l.f. Flawless e.l.f. Flawless Concealer, and this one is also in the shade Deep Chestnut. The 16-hour Camo Concealer is a little bit lighter. This one is a matte concealer, but I like mixing both of these together. I still have yet to try out the new hydrating Camo Concealer, but personally, I like this one. A lot of people don't like the original one, but I like it. The thing is, you do have to kind of work fast with it because it does kind of dry down. But I actually like the original one, even though I still haven't tried the new one out, so I can't really compare the two. But I like this one. And I'm almost out of it, by the way, too. I'm scraping, 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 scraping. Now both of these mixed together are perfection. They are bomb. And I feel like these two mixed together may be equivalent to the e.l.f. Hydrating 16-hour Camo Concealer. I don't know. I haven't tried it out, but I love these mixed together. This one is more matte. This one is more dewy. And these two mixed together are just match made in heaven, girls. So I go in with a little bit of it, not too much, just kind of mix a little bit of it into the Camo Concealer. Like that, and then I blend it out. Now we can set it, and the powder that I used was the new Pat McGrath. It's called the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder, and the shade I got is Deep. Now this powder, I like it, but it does get really, really messy. So I would not swirl my brush around in this because it does get really powdery. So you do have to be careful. I'm using the Sephora by Makeup Mario cheek brush, and I'm just gonna set my under eyes with it. Hey, what are you doing? Got my dogs in here with me. One of them is asleep, the other one is barking. Robert is in there working, so he's on a conference call, so that's what she hears. So we're both working from home. All right, don't know if you guys can tell, but this powder is not really, like it's not a brightening powder as y'all can see. It just pretty much looks the same color as my foundation once I applied it. It does look a little lighter in the pan, but once I apply it, it looks pretty much the same color. So it's not really gonna brighten up my under eyes, but right now I'm just pretty much setting everywhere that I apply my concealer. And I'll show you what I do after setting it. All right, see how my face just looks like it's just one complexion? Like there's no brightness under the eyes. There's nowhere on the face that's highlighted. So everything is set except for the perimeter of my face. So I'm gonna go in with Makeup Forever. This is the Velvet Matte Powder, and I use the shade 505. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and just pretty much set around the perimeter of my face where I didn't apply any of that Pat McGrath powder, and just take it all over. And then whatever is left on the brush, I'll just go back into the middle of my face just to even everything out. All right, so picking up the brow pencil again, taking the little spoolie and just blending out the inner part of my brow. So that way, since the face is already done, some of the product kind of goes into the brow when I do that. So that's gonna give it that little fade right there. All right, so far it looks just like it did when I did my makeup the other day. So everything looks soft, everything looks even. It just looks so flawless, but it's a full coverage. So far, I'm doing good so far. Now I'm gonna go in with bronzer. So the bronzer that I used, I pulled out, I'm dropping stuff. I pulled out the Covergirl Ebony bronzer. This is the Covergirl Full Spectrum bronzer, and I have not used this one in a while either. So I'm gonna take this little Eco Tools brush. This is the pointed blush brush, and I'm just gonna take just a little bit of this because this is pretty dark, it's pretty rich, and it's also a little red. So all right, now I'm gonna go in just to brighten up this area of my face, so a little bit under my eyes. So I'm gonna take my Charlotte Tilbury powder. This one is in the shade Dark, and this is just, it's a finishing powder, but I'm just gonna take a little bit of it on the same brush that I use with this, the Pat McGrath, and just lightly tap it under my eyes. This is just gonna kind of brighten it up just a little bit, but not too much to where it looks, you know, crazy. And I'm gonna take a little bit of it on my chin. Just everywhere that I applied my concealer in the Pat McGrath setting powder. Just taking a little bit of that Charlotte Tilbury powder and just kind of going over it. And I like to do this once my face is pretty much set. I do not like to use this powder on top of my concealer. Like, I do not, and I repeat, do not like using this to set my concealer or my foundation. I don't know, it just looks 10 times better once you apply this powder. See, I put too much on my nose. It just looks 10 times better once you apply this powder after setting your face. So for instance, the Urban Decay pressed powder that y'all know I have talked about a lot, that one is like a true translucent setting powder. So I can use that to set my concealer without it looking too white or too ashy or too patchy. But with the Charlotte Tilbury powder, when I've used this to set my concealer a couple of times, and I do not like how it looks. It just looks so much better after you set your face. So if you want a little bit of a brightness on your skin after you set your face, this is good to use. Or you can also use this all over the face just to kind of give you more of a soft, seamless airbrush look. You can do that as well, but I just like to apply it under my eyes, just pretty much where I applied my concealer, just to kind of give me a little bit more brightness on my face. So I'm going to take the bronzer brush that I use and just kind of go around the edges where I applied that powder. But anyway, now I'm going to take the KKW palette and pick up this contour shade in here, and I use this for my nose. Take it down the side of my nose like this. And this is just going to kind of contour my nose a little bit. And before I blend it out, because I know it does look a little harsh, but before I blend it out, I'm going to go in with my Wet n Wild. This is the loose banana powder. And I'm just going to take my sponge and place a little bit of this powder on the sides of my nose. And I like to let this sit once we start doing the eyes. And kind of take it a little under my eyes, so if there's any fallout from eyeshadow, it will land on the powder. All right, girl, we are finally done with complexion for the most part. Now the eyes. This is gonna be so easy. so easy. So the palette I used was the Rady Dusk Makeup Obsession palette, and I purchased this from Target. They have several different other palettes, but this one has become one of my favorites. Let me show y'all how it looks. So it does come with a mirror inside, but look at the colors. Look at the colors. Let me give you guys a close-up. Look at that. So pretty. This is the one that I threw in my everyday makeup stash for this month. And I also like how you can pull out these shadows. So if you have a palette that has all your single shadows in it, you can easily pull these out and just stick them in your palette. So, but anyway, the shades I used, I only used 2 shades, and that was Treehouse and Rosie Lee. So this shade right here, and then this shade right here. So I pretty much mixed both of these 2 colors together. Let me find the brush that I used for it. All right, the brush was the M504, which is not gonna come as a surprise. It's the Morphe brush. And I'm dipping it into both of the colors, just pretty much going back and forth like that. And placing it all over my lid like this. I mean, look how soft that is. Such a pretty color. And then I just take it and start blending into the crease. Back on the lid, back into the crease, and then I'll start blending it up a little bit like that. And then I picked up a little bit of Treehouse, which was this color right here. I picked up a little bit more of that color and went into the crease like this using the same brush. So you can see a little bit of the color, like a difference. So the crease, you can kind of see. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see what I'm talking about? Anyway, I'm just putting it in the crease right here. Just to kind of give me like a tiny bit of definition, but not too much. And that is it. That is it. Now with everything else on the eyes, I went in with a pencil. This is the Revlon So Fierce pencil in the shade. What shade are you? Mighty Mocha, and this is just a dark chocolate brown color. I put this on my waterline, so I didn't want to go in with a black eyeliner. So if you want a dark liner, but you don't want to use black, go in with a dark chocolate color. All right, so my camera cut off. I don't know if it saved the clip. I don't know. I have not looked. But I did go in with the Maybelline Nudes of New York. I was saying, dang, I wish it did not cut off because I don't even know. But I was saying I wanted to pick up another palette. Both of these palettes are in my makeup collection. Both of these palettes are in my current everyday makeup drawer for the month of March. But I wanted to go in with the dark chocolate brown because the other palette does not have it and Maybelline does. So this is the color that I went in with. I used this little pencil shader brush. And then I just smudged out that brown eyeliner that I applied earlier using that. And that just kind of gives you a more smoky look right there under the eyes. So now we can go ahead and apply the lashes, and the lashes that I was wearing in that picture was my Ardell Remy lashes in the style is 778. Y'all know this is what I always wear. I just like how they make my, I just like how they're shaped. They're perfect for my eye shape. They're not too heavy. They're not too thick. They're just the perfect lash. So I'm gonna put these on and I'll be back. Let me tell you something. If you reuse your lashes, they go on so much better. It's just something about a lash that you've been using for, I've used these same pair probably 5-6 times already. And that, like, I'm so serious, you guys. Like, it's something about applying a lash after you've worn them over and over again that makes it just so much easier for some reason. I don't know. Am I the only one that feels like that? I just feel like the fresh pair, like, soon as you take a lash out of the pack, it doesn't look as good as the lashes that you've already worn. So now I'm gonna take a little bit of mascara. The mascara I used was the Covergirl Exhibitionist. This one is the newer one, it's the uncensored. They have the original one that comes in a silver tube, but this one is one of their newer ones. But I like to coat my lashes after I apply my false lashes. So I'll go in and coat my real lashes right up under the fake ones, like this. And then I'll take some more of the mascara and then just coat my bottom lashes. Now I'll go back and take off this powder using that same brush that I used to apply the pressed powder earlier, just sweeped away. And this also kind of brightens up my under eyes as well. Once I start sweeping it under there, it also kind of brightens it up too. Now I'm gonna take the powder brush that I used to apply the pressed powder and kind of go over it so it won't look too washed out. And then I'll pinch it and kind of go up into that contour that I applied earlier and just kind of blend it in. Now I'm gonna go back into the eyes and I'm gonna go in the inner corner, but this is not gonna be like too dramatic. I'm gonna stick with the Maybelline Nudes of New York palette, and I'm taking a little tiny brush. This is gonna be the Andrea Cosmetics, it's like a little pencil brush, kind of like my pencil shader brush, but I'm dipping this into this light shade right here. This is another matte color. There's no glitter or anything in this. It's just pure matte. And I'm gonna tap it right here on the inner part of my eye to kind of brighten it up. And then I'll take it and kind of pull it up some like this, so it can kind of fade into the eyeshadow. Taking a little bit more, tapping it, and then kind of pulling it over and up like that. Now I didn't go in with any highlighter, I just used a little bit of blush. The blush I used was the Milani blush in the shade Spiced Rose, and I just placed a tiny bit on the apples of my cheeks and kind of brushed it into that bronzer. All right, so the lip product I used was a lipstick from Candy Coated Cosmetics. This is in the shade Rich Cocoa. I did a whole video testing out the products. If you guys want to look at it, I'm going to have the video down below in the description. But this was the lipstick that I used in the look that was on my Instagram. And I also lined my lips just a little bit, even though I never really have to use a lip liner with this. Let me show y'all how it looks on my lips first. I honestly don't need a lip liner with this, but sometimes I just do it anyway. But this is how that color looks. But the lip liner that I used, and while I have it, while I'm talking about lip liner, I want to show y'all something. So Milani just came out with the Salt and Pepper collection, and this one is from the Shoop lip kit. Well, yeah, the liner is called Shoop. And this is a good dupe to the MAC Cork lip liner. Let me show y'all. So this is Shoop right there. And this is what I had on, but I just wanted to show y'all this too because y'all know I like to show some affordable alternatives on my channel, but this is MAC Cork. And that is like a dupe. So you have drugstore and then you have MAC. The one from Milani is way creamier. Very, very, very creamier than MAC. And the one by ColourPop, this is the BFF3 liner. This is also another one that's a good dupe to MAC Cork. So this one is ColourPop right there. So all three of these are pretty much the same. They're pretty much the same. Milani does have a little bit more of a sheen, like a shine to it. ColourPop and MAC is more matte. But they are really, really close. So Milani and ColourPop are good alternatives to the MAC Cork lip liner. But I'm gonna apply the Milani on the edges of my lips. This is really close to my lip color, like the natural line of my lips, but I still like to kind of apply it and kind of mix it into that lipstick. So yeah, that is how the lips look. And then the very, very, very last step was the setting spray. I use the Smashbox Photo Finish spray, and I just spray my face. But yes, girl, this is the completed look. I love how it came out. It looks just like it did the other day when I did my makeup, so I'm happy about that. But yes, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if any of the products that I shared in today's video, have you tried them out? Do you want to try them out? Let's talk about it. So let's go ahead and chit chat down below in the comments. And yeah, oh, by the way, I'm still doing my monthly giveaway. So every month I give away one box to one person, and it's super easy to enter. All you have to do is make sure that you are already subscribed to my channel. Make sure you thumbs up the video as well as leave a comment down below in the comment section. And you guys know I never want the comments to be anything about the giveaway. Let's talk about the products that I shared in today's video. What do you like? What do you dislike? Also, I want to know, what is your current favorite full coverage foundation? Something that makes you look super soft, super natural. I want to know. So let's talk about it down below. But that's all, girl. That is all that I have for today. So if you enjoyed it, make sure you thumbs it up. Make sure you are subscribed if you're not subscribed already. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.